Hey guys, Martin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and it's been a while since I've done a video like this. It was back when we saw the crazy release of the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Vegito custom character that was made a while back, and the super attack animations have been posted around. People were commenting on it, a lot of people were talking about it, so I did a video actually showcasing the unit on the private server. But we do actually have another example here of the people that make these custom units just out here doing the Lord's work, doing what Dokkan isn't doing for some reason. And as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, we have a custom Gohan Black in Dokkan. So massive fumble, I think, that they released this guy. He was massively hyped, one of the biggest things that got talked about from Sparking Zero and the What If campaign stuff, and then they didn't, they haven't put him into any of the other games, and he's not even a playable character in Sparking Zero, even though he's a character that's literally in the game, but you can't play as him. So we have a custom unit here. We're going to take a look at him and go over his details and just have a bit of fun messing around with him. He does have an intro animation, which is why we've started outside of the fight. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and jump in and take a look at him and what he does. So here's his intro. I'm assuming it's a voice line from Sparking Zero, though, as well, right? These are one of Gohan Black's actual voice lines. I'm not 100% sure. So this guy is very interesting in terms of his design of his links and everything. He's got a lot of Gohan links. He's got Cold Judgment, Shocking Speed, but then of course he is Gohan Black, so he has Fear and Faith, he has Nightmare, he has Big Bad Bosses. It's definitely very interesting. Now I've seen custom cards in the past where they are super broken, and this guy does seem very, very powerful. He has an insane ability with his transformation as well, because you can see we start off as just Gohan Black, and then he has the transformation into the Ultimate Rose, which is of course what happens in Sparking Zero. It's basically just like Ultimate Gohan but with the Rose aura, which is actually very, very cool. So if we take a look at this guy, obviously with him being a recent release custom character, he has a 220% leader skill, which is absolutely insane. Crossover Super Bosses, Hybrid Saiyans or Future Saga, get the 200% HP, 170 attack and defense, and then 50% HP attack and defense for Time Travelers, Realm of Gods, Transformation Boost, or Power of Wishes. So absolutely busted leader skill, right? 4 categories for both boosts. The funny thing is, this does make him basically a 220% leader for all of the Heroes units, which is pretty fun. His super attack as the base Gohan Black is Godly Rush, which is greatly raises attack and defense, immense damage, and lowers attack. All allies attack and defense 58% for 1 turn, which is obviously a very powerful super attack effect. And then his passive, we get our entrance animation, which for 1 turn we get 58% extra attack and defense, an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super, and 18% damage reduction for 6 turns. He gets key 3, attack and defense 200%, 30% damage reduction, launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super, high chance to crit, high chance to dodge. All allies key 1, attack and defense 30%, and chance of launching an additional super 30%, self-excluded. So this is kind of crazy, right? We've never seen a unit that does this, gives allies a chance to perform an additional super. It's kind of crazy. For every attack evaded or received, 58% defense up to 200%, and all allies key 1 up to 3 within the turn. For each super attack performed, attack and defense 30% within the turn. And then in slot 1 or 2, 50% extra attack, extra crit chance, and then another additional with a high chance to become a super. Or in slot 3, 58% defense, extra dodge chance of 18%, and gives all allies 1 key, attack and defense 30%. So he's doing an absolute ton of stuff. He's ridiculously good. His boost for the Ultimate Rose can be activated after receiving or evading 8 or more attacks, or starting from the 5th turn. So obviously his team build is kind of crazy with that leader skill. We've got characters like, well, Beast Gohan's actually not getting the full 220, but we've got characters like the Tech Gohan, obviously Rose, because of course all the other Goku Black and Zamasus will be on there. Mechi Cabura's on here. What I kind of want to try and do is get him linked up with the 2 Gohans as the slot 1s, and then have the other units who are our Big Bad Bosses units floating, right? So you can get those links like Cold Judgment, but also get Big Bad Bosses active as well. Not a great turn for the Broly trio in terms of orbs here, but they're not getting attacked, so I suppose it doesn't really matter too much. So we'll grab those orbs for them. Actually, this is a really bad turn for Mechikabra for orbs, but it is what it is. Obviously, it's a shame with no new Heroes units coming out. We're not going to see 220 leads for like the full Heroes team. But so yeah, here's his custom animation. Bear in mind, of course, like all of these are custom made. I will put the link in the description down below. Shout out to It's Trapped over on the on Twitter. I'm going to link the post that he made that has a full link to all the credits of everybody who worked on the unit, because it's all the different things from like the sprites to the animations, someone who made the kit and all that good stuff. So yeah, so we've got the sprite. I guess the sprite is obviously just a combination of a Goku Black body and then a Gohan head. The intro animation, definitely very cool. Super attack animation, it's pretty interesting. I think in terms of like big iconic sort of attack, it's nothing that crazy, but it is, remember his like pre-transformation one. And I have seen what his post-transformation super attack is, and it is definitely the cooler of the two, which I guess is the point, right, once the unit is post-transformation. So we got some pretty decent attack stats, obviously similar to like physical Rose. He gets stronger with each attack that he does within the turn. So the more attacks he does, obviously the better he's going to look. And then we'll see, the other one's in slot 7, of course. I should have noticed that and floated this guy off, because yeah, typical, we've not got our rotations the way I would want them, like, at all. Both our slot 1 units are on the next turn. I mean, this Gohan Black is good enough that he can go in slot 1 in like the early phases anyway. But yeah, I want Beast Gohan and Tech Gohan to be our slot 1s, and they're both on turn 2, so it's a bit annoying. I guess we'll keep you on rotation so you can start to get some build up. Get those for you, and then I guess we'll just grab those for you. I mean, Gohan should kill him here anyway. Takes a bit of damage. I mean, Gohan needs to build up, which I guess is a shame. He's not going to get a ton of super attacks off here. He has the potential to get the quad super turn, but I suppose we want him to not crit, right? Because we don't want him to do too much damage. Although, it looks like he's going to be okay. Can we get the super as well? Okay, good. So 3 supers on the first turn. We'll take that. Obviously, he doesn't have a ton of links in LR Rose, so not the best turn for him. But post super, we tank for double digits, as expected. Although Rose is going to get a finishing blow here, so not very often that we get that. But yeah, in LR Rose, going to get a little bit of a buff for getting the finishing blow. Alright, so we won. I guess the friend is the one that's already been on rotation, right? Yeah, turns in battle 3, turns in battle 1. So he starts off with Fizz Battle, Big Bad Bosses, Cold Judgment, Shocking Speed. He's got 411k defense. Bearing in mind that he does have damage reduction for 6 turns from his intro. He has base effect 30%. So he has 48% damage reduction. So we can go ahead and I guess we'll just do this. This guy on his second turn is up to 1.5 million defense. Because remember, he gets, for each attack received or evaded, he gets this 58% up to 200. So that's definitely very, very good. Can we get orbs for the Broly trio here? Not really. Unless they're going to drop down another red one for me. Perfect, there we go. That's what we like to see. Bit of orb luck there with the RNG. And then this Gohan Black in slot 3. He'll have dodged and or received enough attacks at this point, I think, when he next comes back, that he would be able to transform. But yeah, I think I'm assuming, because I actually can't remember, because we did fight him. I did play a bit of Sparking Zero when it came out. That this is like one of the attacks that Gohan Black actually does. The like combo into the just multiple Ki Blast thing. But custom animations definitely are solid. I don't think they're as crazy as the Vegito Blue Kaioken, but obviously you got to remember these are being custom made very often by like 1 or 2 people. So whilst they're obviously not the same level of quality as like the in-game Dokkan animations, as someone who, you know, couldn't even come close to making something like this myself, it's always very cool to see these custom things. I know in his transformation, there's a frame that I think is like a recolor from, I think it's AGL Ultimate Gohan's active skill maybe. So it basically does look like official in-game quality, because it is just essentially like a recolor of part of an animation that we already have. But for a custom unit, definitely solid. I mean, you think back to some of the in-game animations we had in the first couple of years of Dokkan, and how basic and like not particularly good they were. So it's really cool to see people in the community like making this kind of stuff right themselves. So definitely very fun. So, oh God, are you going to have enough defense to be in slot 1 on this turn? 500k, but you don't have the damage reduction. This is a problem with having a really bad starting rotation, is we now, yeah, we're stuck on this turn 4 now, where we don't have like our slot 1 characters. Because what did you get with the finishing blow? Key 6 and a high chance to crit. Okay. So yeah, this could be awkward. I mean, as long as Gohan doesn't get supered before he attacks, then I guess we should be okay. But let's go ahead and do that. Could definitely be an awkward turn here. Oh, he's taking 100k normals. Okay. Yikes. Well, I mean, fortunately, this is a 220% lead team with 250 to HP, right, for a lot of these characters. So the team does have a pretty decent amount of max HP. But, yeah, definitely not an ideal scenario here for us. I'm assuming even post-super, I don't know if Gohan will tank a super here from Kefla. We're about to find out. Because, of course, he has no damage reduction. He just has the post-super defense and guard. No, he did not. Okay, so jump back in here and carry on. So this guy, after, what, 3 appearances at 2 million defense start of turn. Obviously, very, very powerful character. I mean, custom characters, there's always a fine line between making them, like, super, super OP, but obviously the point of them is that they should be fun, right? Like this guy having the 4 categories, like leader skill, plus 4 for the 50%, like is ridiculous, but it allows you to make some fun team builds. Like I say, that all the heroes characters would be getting a full 220 lead, which of course currently is not the case. Like, it just makes for some fun and interesting setups. But I am going to save his active skill. I think I said already, right? He has a crazy effect on his active skill when he transforms into the ultimate Rosé. So I'm going to save that for the next phase, because it could come in very handy with the against the rotation locking boss that we're going to fight next. But this guy is very interesting because he obviously has a lot of crazy abilities in his passive, but he's kind of like a combo of like what we would expect from an Ultimate Gohan and then like physical Rosé, which I think is pretty cool. It's definitely interesting because he doesn't require any specific allies, right? So like physical Rosé, who we just mentioned, like he's not on the team because really he wants the team to be full of a lot of super bosses. This guy has no restriction or requirements for specific allies, which is probably good because he has a lot of those links that are a bit more like Gohan, like Cold Judgment and Shocking Speed. But then he has Big Bad Bosses and Fear and Faith, so you can kind of mix the team quite nicely with the super and extreme characters. And yeah, it just makes for a lot of fun. So I think this is probably like the custom character stuff is probably like my favorite thing about like private server stuff, because obviously the conversation has been going on for years with things about people doing like the early showcases and all that kind of stuff. But this is the kind of thing that I think is what makes the private server actually really fun to have and to be able to use, is people making these custom characters. And obviously a lot of work goes into it, right? Especially now with the fact that we've got all the like new normal attack animations. In fact, I should have mentioned as well the fact that he has an idle animation as well, which you've probably seen very briefly, but I'll probably highlight that on like the next rotation. But yeah, a lot of work goes into this stuff, like making all of the sprites, all of the animations, of course, the card art itself, like tons of stuff goes into it. Like I said, the link will be in the description for It's Trapped and his post that lists everybody that worked on the project, so all the credit is there. Do make sure you go check them out. But yeah, definitely thought it'd be fun to do this today, just as something to do, right? We know the game's pretty quiet, and like I said at the beginning, it's just crazy that they didn't capitalize on this hype. Like, I think out of everything that was being talked about with Sparking Zero when it first came out, and people didn't find it for like the first like couple of days, I guess, and then tons of articles were popping up. Like, I couldn't go on Google in like the couple of days after Sparking Zero came out without there being some article from like somewhere like an IGN type website or whatever talking about the Gohan Black like what if scenario. So it was obviously massively popular, and yeah, neither of the games, or none of the games, have like capitalized on it. And we know that Dokkan, they plan stuff in advance, but then we do also know that they do get information from like the games and the movies and the series. Otherwise we would never be able to have things like in the past, right, with like UI Goku coming out the day after the episode with UI Goku aired in Japan, right? So some of this stuff they will know like in advance. I guess it just depends how much information the Sparking Zero like team or people who are involved in all that sort of stuff would have shared with some of the other games. But yeah, it's crazy to think, like, you know, with games even like Xenoverse 2 still putting out DLC and content, Legends, which has gotten Beast and then like a lot of the Daima stuff way earlier than Dokkan, none of these other games have playable Gohan Black yet, which is interesting because ever since Goku Black first appeared in Dragon Ball Super, people have made fan art of like Gohan Black, Trunks Black, like all that kind of stuff, right? And the What If campaign for him in Sparking Zero was actually really cool. It was one of the most fun parts of playing through some of those campaign like missions for me when I played it briefly when it came out. So it is crazy to think that he hasn't officially come to any of these other games yet. But you know, it is what it is. Who knows, this November, of course, we know we're not going to get a Heroes Celebration anymore, but we should still be getting the Heroes EZAs that we're waiting for. So what better celebration to have that kind of stuff be featured in than a crossover character of some variety, right? So it would definitely be very cool. Right, so Meki Cabra's got locked in slot 1, which sucks, but it's the perfect opportunity for us to show off the ability for this guy and his active skill. So I can't even put, unfortunately I can't put him in slot 1 to show his pre-transformed idle animation, but we'll just have to do that next time. We can see his transformed one here because we're going to go ahead and use his transformation. So here we go. I'm going to transform into Ultimate Rosé here. Yeah, so we've got this is all custom, and then there you go. That's the like existing Gohan thing. So obviously that looks really good. And then there's the straight up Gohan Black art with the Rosé aura. Now he's got the Ultimate Gohan like hair. The art for the transformed version I think is really, really good as well. Like, that just looks super good. Obviously the stupid hologram background, but yeah, very, very cool. The aura and everything. So the reason why this guy's active skill is so good and why I kept it for this turn. So once he's transformed, his super attack greatly raises attack and defense for 3 turns. Immense damage greatly lowers attack. Raises extreme class allies attack and defense by 58% for 1 turn. And then his passive, this is the one time only when you transform, enables all allies to evade enemies' attacks for 1 turn. So on the turn where he transforms, everybody on the turn has a 100% chance to dodge. Now, obviously at first when I read that, I was like, okay, well that is ridiculous. Like that's OP, that's, you know, typical custom card kind of thing. But when you think about it, really, obviously if a boss disables dodge, it doesn't help. It's the same kind of thing as like Physical Gogeta's active skill. Because Physical Gogeta, for 1 turn only, when you use his active skill, targets all of the attacks onto himself and dodges them all. Which is essentially the same effect as this, right? All attacks for this turn are going to get dodged. The only difference is, obviously, there are 2 of them. And, of course, I guess for AoEs as well, all allies have the ability to dodge, whereas target abilities, we know, don't work against AoEs. But, yeah, that is pretty ridiculous. So all allies will guarantee dodge on the turn where he transforms. He gets 3 key, 300% attack and defense, 50% damage reduction, guaranteed crits, 70% chance to dodge, additional attack that has a great chance to become a super, all allies key 1, attack and defense 30%, and a 30% chance to launch an additional super. For every attack evaded or received, he gets the attack and defense build up again. For each attack performed, attack and defense 30% within the turn. Still, first or second attacker, 158% attack, additional attack that has a great chance to become a super. Third attacker, 158% defense, extra dodge chance, and then all allies 30% attack and defense, 58% crit chance, and launching an additional super 50% self-excluded, which is actually insane. So that stacks, I assume, right? So if you put him in slot 3, once he's transformed, all allies on the rotation have an 80% chance to perform an additional super, which is definitely insane, but you know. Let's see how we go. So we can get 6 orbs here for you, and now we can see the look at that, the idle animation with the aura. The flapping of the clothes in like the wind effect thing is kind of cool. It definitely looks very the trousers and the jacket especially like blown out by the air effect, maybe a bit on the chunky side, but pretty cool. Obviously got the pose. I like the fact that like the aura just like he moves his hand and then the aura like comes in. This is what I mean about like the work that goes into this stuff, right? Because all of that is just created by just fans of the game and people that have the ability to make these like animations and character sprites and stuff, and it's all very, very cool. So everyone on the turn going to dodge, which is the reason why I saved this for the rotation locking phase, right? Because we don't want Mechicabra getting locked in slot 1 is like the worst case scenario for this team. And of course, you know, we're still going to have to deal with the fact that he's going to be on the next rotation, but he won't be in slot 1 at least. But yeah, Mechicabra should be safe now. And of course, by having Gohan Black in the middle, we get Big Bad Bosses, we get Fear and Faith, but then we get Cold Judgment and the other links from the Tech Gohan. So definitely in a good spot. And now we can see his super attack, the transformed Ultimate Rose super. So 22 mil. And then, yeah, it's the one-arm Black Kamehameha. I love that, where it's like the sort of like looking down the barrel of the Kamehameha, I guess. And you can see, you can't see it as well, I guess, in the ×2, but it has that cool, like, Int Goku Black effect, right, from the base Int Goku Black, where he takes the stance and it shows, like, the echo of, like, Goku. And this kind of shows, like, that stance. It's like the echo of, like, future Gohan, which I think is really cool. Well, I could put it into ×2, I guess, to see, like, ×1 speed to see the... to see that again, I guess, when we go on to the next turn. But yeah, all the dodging, Gohan in slot 3 at 14 million. Not his defense, just none of their defenses matter on this turn, like at all, because they're just going to dodge everything anyway, which is definitely a very powerful ability. Obviously, that's why it's for one turn only, right? But yeah, very, very strong. And even like it'd be cool to see that be added as an ability for characters in the future. The ability to give other characters on the rotation a chance to additional or even dodge chance or like whatever it is. I'm pretty sure we've seen support for like giving allies crit chance. But yeah, I don't think we've ever seen like giving allies an additional chance. I think we might even have giving allies dodge in some ability somewhere. Maybe I'm misremembering. But yeah, the idea that we have an ability that's like every single unit on the turn can dodge. Yeah, that's his normal stance. The idle animation, which is pretty cool. Still him like sort of taking a stance, like, yeah, very cool. So I mean, we could, if we really wanted to, save his transformation here and just use the beast active skill, I guess. Or do we just want to save? I guess we could save, yeah, because I guess, well, we can't dodge once we get to the last phase. We can't dodge, so we probably want to save Beast's active skill for then, I suppose. So we'll go ahead and transform. Now, obviously, everybody has guaranteed dodge. Go ahead and do that. Not the best key for Int Rose, unfortunately. And obviously, no big bad bosses here for Gohan Black, but there's the dodge. One thing I have noticed, actually, is I feel like you can see the sprite there, especially after the dodge, where the sprite is, like, zoomed in so much, is I think the head is slightly too big, but again, like, it's not something I'm gonna massively complain about, considering, as I say, how much work goes into this kind of thing, and it's not something that I could do myself. So I mean, it's still, like, the actual sprites themselves and everything, especially the idle sprites and everything, very, very cool. So, but yeah, I mean, Gohan Black, fun custom unit. Will we ever see him come to the game? I mean, I hope so. Like, we don't really have a lot of stuff to draw new content from. Like, obviously, Daima has finished now. We've still got a good few things that we can get for that for Dokkan. And then other than that, like, I don't know what else is... I can't remember if it's been confirmed that there is a new movie that is being worked on, but obviously when it comes to Dokkan, like, drawing these things from the overall Dragon Ball, like, IP, like, we shouldn't be wasting any opportunities, like, any new sort of characters. You know, like I say, Gohan Black very much started off as, like, just a fan art kind of thing when Goku Black was first introduced in Dragon Ball Super, and then for him to be properly put into, like, Sparking Zero obviously is very, very cool. But yeah, like, we just kind of, we need that stuff in Dokkan. Unfortunately though, this is a situation, well, I guess, did I bring, yeah, I did bring these. I guess we'll just go ahead and do this. Break the rotation locking here. But yeah, hopefully it'll be something that we see. Like I say, the best case scenario, I think, would be November, because we know that we're still going to get Heroes EZAs. So I feel like the best way of introducing them into the game is by having a celebration that is like a crossover themed kind of celebration. And so what better than having a big new, like, crossover Dokkan Fest. Probably wouldn't expect him to be quite as crazy as this guy, but yeah, that's very cool. Like that, especially not only that angle, like, as the choice for the Kamehameha, but the actual sprite there looks, like, really good as well for the Gohan. Yeah, that looks very good. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Will we ever see Gohan Black officially in Dokkan? Shout out to It's Trapped and everybody else that made all of the things for this. I can have a look at the list here, actually, because we got Trapped was the lead creator of the project, Merged, co-developer, assisted with a bunch of the scripting, Shook, main asset creator of arts, is it Source or Source, main animator, TC, battle motions, and some corrections on animation assets, films with the Aura assets, Matt, as in Matryoshka, the guy from the Vegito stuff, he gave me the link to all the credit as well, so shout out to him. Some assistance with correction and various feedback on animations. Effley, corrections on porting animations in game, and then Sloppy created the kit for the actual unit itself. But like I say, that link to that post will be in the description, where it lists all of the people that contributed to the creation of this character. Definitely very cool. Definitely something that we'd like to see a official version of in the game at some point. Now we've got our the two sides of the coin, right? The ultimate Gohan himself, the good guy, and then Gohan Black Ultimate Rose. But yeah, definitely something fun. It's one of those things that's not something I've done a huge amount in the past with, like, custom units and stuff, but it is kind of fun. I wanted to do the Heroes one back when it came out because it was, like, a big thing everyone was talking about. And it just so happened that today of all days, like, I woke up and got a notification in Discord that this update had been added to the private server with the Gohan Black. So straight away I was like, oh, hell yeah, let's get on and check him out and make a video. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Obviously, he is definitely super crazy, very powerful. I mean, like I say, he probably would be the best TUR in the game if it was like an official release that had actually come out, like today or something. But let me know what you guys think down below. When do you think we'll see Gohan Black in Dokkan, if we will at all? What would you like his leader skill and all that stuff to be? Obviously, it's not going to be anything as crazy as this, but let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and shout out to everybody involved in the project. But yeah, that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.